It's another Marvel Legends War Machine figure. Plus, Power Rangers and Cobra Kai team up for Hasbro's Lightning Collection. Super 7 confirms single releases of Wily Kit and Wily Cat for ThunderCats Ultimates, and a whole lot more. So let's jump right into it. Hey, you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and welcome to a Monday edition of TNInews. So let's start off with some news on the Marvel front. So first of all, there's another new Marvel Select figure coming to Shop Disney and Disney stores. This is a Disney store exclusive. This looks like a re-release of their Select Black Panther comic book base figure. However, this does have a little bit different deco on it, I believe. You've got the lighter blue tones on the figure. I think that's probably the biggest thing. You get a backdrop with it as well. So this figure is, again, a Shop Disney exclusive, and it is available on the Shop Disney website now. Announced today is another Marvel Legends War Machine figure. This is a repaint of the modular Iron Man figure. This is essentially based on the Marvel vs. Capcom video games. The figure is going to cost about $25. It comes in the non-window style of packaging, so you don't get the retro card back with this one. You get some similar blast effects like we saw with that Iron Man figure with the proton cannon. You don't get anything like the proton cannon with this one, just the figure. Would have been kind of cool if they'd given us the jetpack that you see War Machine wear in the video game. But as it is, you just get the figure with some effect pieces and such. So this is going to be going up for pre-order tomorrow, pretty much everywhere that carries Marvel Legends, including our sponsors Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. And if you're into the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff, this might be one that you want to check out. And then finally, for Marvel Legends today, just a quick update on the Marvel Legends Haslab Ghost Rider campaign. So we're just about 2 weeks to go before the campaign ends. And right now the campaign continues to lose backers. We are sitting at 5,104 backers, so we still haven't dropped below 5,000. But again, the counter does seem to continue to be going downward. So I'm not sure if Hasbro's going to try and do anything more to save this one, show off any other stretch goals or anything like that. But I kind of feel like they're probably just going to let it ride at this point. And as I've said multiple times, I don't think this one is going to make it. And it's going to be another one of the failed Haslabs to go along with the Rancor, the Reva lightsaber, and the Cookie Monster. Okay, now let's switch over to Mattel and their crowdsourcing campaign on the Mattel Creations website for that Masters of the Universe Origins new Eternia playset. So it continues to do pretty good. It is basically up to 4,362 backers as I'm filming this. So it needs a minimum of 5,000 backers to go forward with funding, and it has until the end of November 10th to reach that number. So I do think that will likely happen. However, one thing I misspoke last week when talking about the early bird figure, which is for the Origins King Grayskull figure, the Revelation version. Mattel does their early bird figure a little bit differently than Hasbro. Hasbro basically, if you didn't back it by the date that they set, which for the Ghost Rider was September 23rd, then if it didn't reach its minimum number of backers by that date, then they just didn't include the early bird figure. And that's what happened with the Ghost Rider. And so once people saw that the figure wasn't going to be included, they started backing out of the campaign. Later Hasbro tried to reverse course and threw in the extra head and everything, but by that point people had already started dropping out and such. With Mattel, the way it reads on their website, basically anyone who backs it until this coming Wednesday, which is going to be the 19th, will get the figure, assuming the campaign does end up reaching the minimum number of 5,000 backers by the November 10th release or set date when it ends. So as long as you've backed it within that window, even if it hasn't reached the minimum number of 5,000 by this coming Wednesday, and it may very well, so all of it, that might be immaterial. But if it doesn't by chance reach the minimum 5,000 by this coming Wednesday, then as long as you've backed it by that point, you will get the King Grayskull. Again, assuming it gets to the minimum 5,000 by November 10th. Now, the downside to the way Mattel does it is once we've reached this coming Wednesday, there's no, if the King Grayskull was a big incentive for you to want to back it, you're essentially not going to get that figure. So if you decide to back it on Thursday or anytime after that, Wednesday date between now and November 10th, then you're not going to get the King Grayskull. The people who backed it in the first week will get the King Grayskull, but you will not. And so that might cause some people to have second thoughts, if they, for whatever reason, are waiting towards, have to wait, feel they need to wait until towards, it gets closer to the November 10th date, then, that might give them second thoughts about backing it at all. So that could cause a slowdown, which maybe, could cause issues with getting to the stretch goals or something. With this particular campaign, the Moat Monster and the Eldor figure, which are the two stretch goals for this campaign, it needs to get to 8,000 for the monster and needs to get to 10,000 for the Eldor. I have a feeling, and this is just my feeling, I obviously can't say for sure, but I have a feeling that even if it didn't reach those stretch goals, most people who are deciding to back this thing will continue to do so, that the stretch goals are not a big influencer overall on whether people are deciding to back this one or not. Obviously, it would be, the more figures and stuff they include, the better it is. But I feel like even if it didn't include the Eldor or the Moat Monster, most people would probably, who have already decided to back it, would continue to do so. So we'll have to see how it plays out and all. But just note that if you're thinking about backing it, you might want to try and do it before this coming Wednesday, so that you can also get the King Grayskull figure. Okay, now switching to Power Rangers. So if you're a Power Rangers fan and also a fan of the Netflix Cobra Kai series, the continuation of the Karate Kid movies, then this news might interest you. So this comes via a site called AMB Media, and they are reporting that Hasbro is going to be doing a collaboration with Sony, where they're going to be doing something with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, combining Power Rangers and Cobra Kai. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work. The way they list it is Mighty Morphin and Cobra Kai capsule collection for the Lightning Collection. So I don't know if it's going to be, we saw the last year Playmates Toys do 2-packs featuring Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Cobra Kai characters in 6-inch form. So I don't know if it's going to be something like that with Power Rangers, or if it's going to be more of a mashup thing, kind of like we've been seeing Hasbro do with the Street Fighter this year, where they take Power Rangers or they take Cobra Kai characters and they stick like Power Ranger armor on them. So it's not entirely clear exactly what Hasbro is going to be doing, but it looks like next year at some point we're going to get some type of collab between with Hasbro, with Power Rangers and the Cobra Kai Netflix series. Okay, and then finally, I have some news on the ThunderCats front from Super7. So this information comes via an interview that the folks at ThunderCats.org did with Brian Flynn. So I will put a link to that entire interview down in the video description below. But an interesting bit of information that came out of that was that Brian Flynn confirmed that Wiley Kit and Wiley Cat are coming, which I think we all knew that was the case. But he also confirmed that they would be released as essentially single releases, kind of like we've seen with Snarf in Wave 7. So, I think most of us were expecting originally it was going to be a 2-pack. But then when we saw Snarf, a $55 single release of Snarf, I said I wouldn't be surprised if they did something similar with Wiley Kit and Wiley Cat. And according to Brian Flynn, that is the case. Now, he didn't specifically say what the price was going to be, but I would suspect they'll probably be $55 each. So didn't say exactly when Wiley Kit and Wiley Cat would be coming, but he did use the word soon. So maybe in the next wave, we'll at least see one of them, if not both of them. I don't know if he's going to try and break them up into 2 different waves, or if he'll just give us both figures in the same wave. We'll have to wait and see. But do expect them to be released as single releases, and likely with a price of $55 each. Now, he also said that there somehow was an error with the listing on the Ratarr-O figures. So you may recall I told you how Ratarr-O, Brian Flynn at New York Comic Con had told us that Ratarr-O was going to be $65, and then when he went up for pre-order last week, it was only $55. Well, apparently that was an error. It was supposed to be $65. not sure how the error happened, but because it was, listed at 55, Brian said that they're going to stick with that $55 price. So I'm not sure how that happened, since it was Super7's website that listed them at $55 initially. If it was like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth that got misinformation and labeled them wrong, an error would seem more likely. But again, I don't know exactly how all that worked. But I just wanted to note that, like, when I told you it was going to be 65, I wasn't wrong on that. That's what Brian Flynn had told us, and something changed, or somebody screwed up. I don't know. Also, going back to the ThunderCats interview, Brian Flynn told the folks that they could do figures based on the comics as well as the 2011 cartoon series. So the fact that he's mentioning that would suggest that we probably will start seeing figures from those properties as well, not just the original 80s cartoon. So if you're a fan of the 2011 cartoon, Bandai America did some toys for that, but looks like Super7 might be giving us some stuff in the future as well. Okay, so that's all I have for you today, but as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about down in the comments section below. Like the video if you're so inclined, and please think about subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.